Hey everybody, something a little different today because I've had to layer my screens. There will be no intro and there will be no end screens. So I'm starting right off the bat in this little cap. We are traveling today. Riddle Me Din Din live. I'm back and it is going to be taking us to Burma today. So if you can solve my riddles, you will end up with ingredient lists for foods that come from Burma. And this is a nod to all of my subscribers who come from Burma. Thank you very much for joining my channel. Thank you for being part of my community. And thank you for helping me grow as a new VTuber. So tonight I wanted to honor you. And don't worry everybody else, I will get to your countries as well. I've got some really fantastic and fun, very tasty, nicely like the aromatic foods that are coming up in the next few weeks because I want to honor all of my subscribers, and I'm going to do this one country at a time every Tuesday. So here we go. Today we are in Burma and I'm out here in my imaginary outdoor cooking kitchen. I just love cooking outdoors. And today, let's get started. Hello my sweet and possibly hungry Msouls. Today my puzzlers take us all the way to Burma in honor of all my subscribers out there. Hello subscribers, and thanks for sticking with me. Tonight's episode is dedicated to you, so let's get right to it. Riddle me this. I'm mostly grown in Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, and Laos. I have a sweeter taste, and I'm stickier than most other varieties. What am I? Riddle number 2. Rest in peace. You will be missed. What is it? Riddle number 3. I'm a spice made from dried peppercorns that are finely ground up. What am I? Riddle number 4. I'm a spice made from the ripe berries of a particular vine, and I have a bitter flavor. What am I? Riddle number 5. What happens when paprika cheats on oregano? Riddle number 6. I'm a fragrant tropical plant that creates an oil that smells like a citrus fruit. I'm used in Asian cooking, perfumery, and medicine. What am I? Riddle number 7. I come from a Southeast Asian plant that resembles bamboo in appearance, and I can be chopped, powdered, preserved in syrup, or candied. What am I? Riddle number 8. I have more flavor than the iodized version, and I have a large, coarse, uneven grain, used to draw out moisture from meat rather than seasoning it. What am I? Riddle number 9. I ordered cod at a restaurant, but they gave me salmon. Why? How are you doing with my puzzlers, Msouls? Let's review. In riddle number 1, mostly grown in Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, sweeter than most, stickier than most, it is jasmine rice. We'll need a half cup of uncooked jasmine rice. Riddle number 2, rest in peace, you will be missed. That's water. Water is a mist. 3 quarts of water will be needed. In riddle number 3, a spice made from dried peppercorns finely ground up, it is ground black pepper. We're going to need 1½ teaspoons of the freshly ground black pepper. In riddle number 4, a spice made from ripe berries of a particular vine, bitter flavor, it's white ground pepper. And we'll need 1½ teaspoons of freshly ground white pepper too. What happened when paprika cheated on oregano? Bay leaves. You know bay? Your sweetheart, your bae? Bay leaves. We need, okay, so fine. We'll need 5 dried bay leaves. Okay, in riddle number 6, we have a fragrant tropical plant. It creates an oil that smells like a citrus fruit. It's used in cooking, perfumes, and medicines. It is lemongrass. We're going to need 3 stalks of lemongrass, peeled, bruised. I think that means you like smack it around a bit and the juice kind of, it all softens up, with the back of a knife, and cut it into 3-inch pieces. In riddle number 7, coming from a Southeast Asian plant that looks like bamboo, it is actually ginger, and we're going to need 1 4-inch piece of ginger, thickly sliced crosswise. In riddle number 8, have more flavor than the iodized version. We're talking about salt, specifically kosher salt, which is used actually to draw the blood out of meat, so that if it's kosher, it doesn't have like the blood pooled in there. So drawing out rather than using it for flavoring. And we're going to use the kosher salt to taste. All right. And riddle number 9. I ordered cod at a restaurant, but they gave me salmon. I was catfished. I ordered one thing and got the other. I was catfish. Okay, fine. La, 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 la. And we're going to need 6 2.5 pounds of catfish fillets, skinned and pin bones removed. So, Venus, you may ask, what does this make? It's a Burmese breakfast stew recipe. It really is so yummy. And this comforting stew is loaded with lemongrass, ginger, garlic, catfish, turmeric, fish sauce, and then it's thickened with a toasted rice powder. And the prep time altogether will be 30 minutes. The cook time will be 50. So I know this is a biggie, and we're nowhere near done yet. This recipe will feed about 4 people. But wait, this round of riddle only gives us the ingredients for the ground toasted rice and the broth. There's so much more, so stick with me. Here comes part 2. Ready your recording devices, because here we go. Riddle me this. I'm made from plants and used for cooking when you don't want to use butter or lard. What am I? Riddle number 2. I'm a tasty fresh herb for the kitchen, and while I'm growing, I handsomely wave my long, slender gray-green foliage back and forth in the summer breeze. What am I? In riddle number 3, I'm the most effective social distancing enforcer, and I can be minced. What am I? Riddle number 4. My plant grows up to 4 feet tall. I come from the underground stem part of the plant, and I can help regulate your blood sugar. What am I? Riddle number 5. I'm a powdered spice with a deep orange-red color with a mildly pungent flavor. What am I? Riddle number 6. A spoonful of me added to the water in a water-colored cooling radiator will stop leaks. A paste made with me is a home remedy for sunburns. What am I? Riddle number 7. I'm a natural blood thinner, and eating one of me meets 2% of the daily value for iron that you need. I have a very mild and sweet taste. Some think of me as purple, others call me Spanish. What am I? Riddle number 8. In ancient Rome, I was known as Garum. In Vietnam, my label's called Red Boat. In Thailand, I'm a brand called 3 Crabs. What am I? I'm getting so hungry thinking about this. Riddle number 9. I actually increase the temperature of the water when boiling foods like potatoes, vegetables, and pasta, shortening their cooking time. What am I? Have I broken your brain? How are you doing with the riddles? Let's review. Made from plants and used for cooking when you don't want to use butter or lard. This is vegetable oil, and we're going to need 1/3 of a cup of vegetable oil. In riddle number 2, a tasty fresh herb for the kitchen that blows around in the breeze, gray-green foliage. It's lemongrass. You'll need 1 stalk of lemongrass finely minced. In riddle number 3, an effective social distancing enforcer that can be minced. It's garlic, and we'll need 1/4 cup of minced garlic. Riddle number 4, my plant grows up to 4 feet tall, but I come from the underground part of the stem. This is ginger. We'll need 3 tablespoons of ginger minced. In riddle number 5, the powdered spice with a deep orange-red color, a mildly pungent flavor. This is paprika. We need 1 tablespoon of paprika. In riddle number 6, a spoonful of me in the water in a water-cooled radiator will stop leaks. Yes, it actually does. It's a teaspoon of turmeric. Make sure we have 1 teaspoon turmeric. In riddle number 7, a natural blood thinner. Eating 1 of me gives us 2% of our daily need for iron. Can be mild and sweet. Purple, red, or Spanish. It is 2 red onions. We'll need 2 red onions peeled and diced into 1/2-inch pieces. Riddle number 8. In ancient Rome, this was actually a really popular thing. Garum. In Vietnam, the label on it says red boat. And in Thailand, there's a brand called 3 Crabs. What is it? It's fish sauce. And we're going to need 1/4 cup of fish sauce. Almost done. Riddle number 9. It increases the temperature of the water when we're boiling foods. It's kosher salt. We're just going to use to taste. A pinch here, there. Excuse me. So how are you doing with these brain teasers, Msoul? Let's review. Okay, we've reviewed. So now, if you've collected all of these ingredients to make the broth, and now this second set is the soup contents. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you how to put it all together soon, but this dish is a multi-layered thing, so just 1 more set of riddles to cinch up this recipe set. Part 3 is happening right now. All right. Part 3 will reveal the ingredients we will need to prepare the presentation of this cooked soup before it's served. So ready your recording devices. Here we go. Riddle number 1. What goes in hard comes out soft and wet. Keep your dirty minds out of my kitchen, people. In riddle number 2, also known as Chinese or sea parsley, I'm used to help combat salmonella infections by inhibiting bacterial growth in the gut. What am I? Riddle number 3. There was a hen who had a fever. Guess what she did? Riddle number 4. Put us in water and we sink. We help to prevent scurvy because of our vitamin C content. We were an important ration to the Navy because of this. What am I? Riddle number 5. I lower your risk of stomach cancer by a whopping 40 to 50% if you eat half of 1 of me every day. I also contain allicin, a compound that helps reduce high blood pressure. I'm also ideal for overweight women to eat me raw so I can lower your cholesterol. What am I? Okay, Msoul, let's review these riddles and see how accurate your solving skills are today. I've tried to make them unique from the ones before. Alright. In riddle number 1, what goes in hard and comes out soft? Watch your dirty mind. It's 10 ounces of fine ground rice noodles. We want the fine round rice noodles. In riddle number 2, also known as Chinese parsley or sea parsley, helps to combat salmonella infections by inhibiting bacteria growth in your gut. This is cilantro. And we'll need a half a cup of chopped cilantro and divide up it into 2 halves. Riddle number 3. There was a hen who had a fever. Guess what she did? She laid hard-boiled eggs. Okay, we're going to need 4 hard-boiled eggs sliced in half. Riddle number 4. Put us in water and we sink. We prevent scurvy because of our vitamin C, an important ration for the Navy. They're limes. Lemons actually float when you put them in water, but limes sink. Cut 2 limes into quarters. Riddle number 5. I lower your risk of stomach cancer by a whopping 40 to 50% if you eat half of one of me every day. I also contain allicin, a compound that helps reduce high blood pressure. An ideal for overweight women to eat me raw so I can lower their cholesterol. What am I? I've got to love this. Red onion. We need a half of a medium size or 6-ounce red onion, thinly sliced. Alright, now that all of the guesswork is done, let's put all of this together. Finally! Here are the directions for all stages of the Burmese breakfast stew. You're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Lay out the uncooked rice evenly on a sheet pan and toast it in the oven until the rice is golden brown. That takes about a half an hour. Stir it every 10 minutes to allow the toasted rice to cool at room temperature, and then grind it to a powder in a spice grinder, or if you've got that mortar and pestle, though that'll take a little longer. And then set this aside. Meanwhile, you're going to make a broth. In a 4-quart stock pot, add the water, the black and white peppercorns, the bay leaves, lemongrass and ginger, and season lightly with the salt. Bring this mixture to a boil. Once it starts to boil, reduce the heat to a simmer and let it simmer for 15 minutes. Carefully lower the fish fillets into this simmering pot, and the fish may not be covered completely with water, but that's okay. Bring this mixture to a simmer and cook the fish gently for 15 minutes. Using tongs and a slotted spoon, carefully lift the fish out of the broth and put it aside for later. Now you're going to strain this broth. Rinse the pot and pour the broth back into the pot. Heat this over medium heat and bring it to a simmer. In the meantime, in a small bowl, whisk together the powdered rice and a ladle full of the broth until no lumps remain. Use a fork for this, that might help get rid of the lumps. Stir the mixture into the broth and bring to a simmer until it barely thickens. Meanwhile, let's make the soup. In a wok or a large skillet, heat the oil over high heat. Then you're going to add lemongrass, garlic, and ginger and stir fry it for 1 minute. Add the cooked fish, paprika, and turmeric and mash them into a paste using the back of a spoon. 2 to 3 minutes, or I use a potato masher, honestly. Pour the contents into the broth and bring it to a simmer. We're loving the simmering here. Okay. Add the red onions and fish sauce. Cook for 10 more minutes. Season with the salt and keep it hot until you're ready to serve it. Meanwhile, separately, you're going to cook the noodles. Bring a separate pot of water to a boil, add the noodles and cook until tender. That'll only take 3 to 4 minutes. Drain the noodles in a colander and rinse under cool water. Shake off any excess water and divide the noodles among the 4 bowls that you're going to serve the soup in. Ladle the soup over the noodles and top each bowl with the cilantro, a hard-boiled egg, a lime wedge, and a thick slice of red onion. Make it pretty, and it's ready to serve. Well, I'm certainly giving you a cooking workout tonight, but for all these sets of riddles, it all amounts to one main dish. And I can't really send you off tonight like that, can I? Nope. So buckle up. You've got one last set of cerebral hoops to jump through, and you will be rewarded with a lovely dessert to chase that breakfast suits due. So what do you say? Are you still with me? Let's do this. Riddle me this. Dinosaurs drank me before you did. What am I? Ooh, disturbing. Riddle number 2. I'm a gelatinous substance obtained from various kinds of red seaweed used to thicken foods. What am I? Riddle number 3. The average American eats 61 pounds of me per year, often through candy and soft drinks. I'm often white. What am I? Riddle number 4. My outsides are hairy. My insides is very healthy for you. Full of minerals and electrolytes. I can help with weight loss, and I can help stave off anemia. What am I? Riddle number 5. I can cause headaches if you use too much of me, but don't worry, a little bit of me helps to transport the nutrients and oxygen through your body, and I allow your nerves to transmit messages, and I help your muscles to work too. What am I? So how puzzling were these puzzlers, Msoul? Let's review and see how you do. In riddle number 1, dinosaurs drank me before you did. It's water. They drank this water and peed it out before any of us touched it. How disturbing. Yet, what an odd fact. We're going to need 2.5 cups of water, as clean as you can find it. In riddle number 2, the gelatinous substance obtained from red seaweed to thicken foods, it's agar-agar. And you can get agar-agar powder in the store. We'll need 2 teaspoons of it. Riddle number 3, the average American eats 61 pounds of me a year. It's sugar, and we're going to need 1/2 cup of sugar. In riddle number 4, my outsides are hairy, but insides are very healthy, full of minerals, and helps to stave off anemia. It's coconut milk, and we're going to need 1 cup of coconut milk. It could be canned or freshly pressed. In riddle number 5, I can cause a headache if you have too much of me, but a little bit of me does a lot of good in the body, transporting nutrients and oxygen, allowing nerves to transmit messages, helping muscles to work. It's a pinch of salt. So Venus, you may ask, what does this ingredient list make? And I hope I say this right. I apologize to my subscribers if I get it wrong. Kuak? Kia? And I hope I said it right. It's a Burmese coconut jelly dessert. And it's completely gelatin free. Instead, it uses the agar-agar to achieve a jelly-like texture. Alright, so here's how we put it all together. You're going to combine the water, sugar, agar-agar, and salt in a medium pan and stir it in together. Stir it well. Over a medium heat, bring it to a boil and make sure the agar-agar and the sugar dissolve completely. Stirring with a fork might be a good idea. Add the coconut milk and let it boil for a full minute. Then bring down the heat and simmer for 2 more minutes. If you take a spoonful, you should see the coconut milk solids separate. Now remove this from the heat and pour it into a mold or a pan, and let it set fully at room temperature. Once it sets, refrigerate it for a few hours before serving. And you can cut it into squares. This coconut kya is a simple, refreshing treat. Serve it chilled for a bit of something sweet and cold on a hot day. And it is getting hot out there. I can't wait for you to try this. It smells wonderful and it tastes wonderful too. So let us know in the comments below how these recipes turned out for you. It's the most involved one I've given you yet, and I promise not to do that very often. I did promise most of the time we won't have too much to clean up afterwards, but this recipe was just too interesting, too tasty, and it just makes the kitchen smell wonderful. So I had to share it with you. And let us know in the comments too, anything you do to enhance this. If you do make something similar, let us know how it fits your taste. Now, that's it for tonight's episode, everybody. Riddle Me Din Din is now concluded. I hope you had a lot of fun and found this interesting. I hope you found the facts interesting too, because I certainly had my eyes open for a couple of things. So, happy cooking tonight, everyone. Happy eating, and have a wonderful week, everybody. This is Venus Cleta. I'm raising my cup of water, drinking to your health and mine. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you next time. You can find me live again this week on Friday night for a round of Tuck In and Chill. We can chat then, and I'll have a new story to share, as I always do. All right, this is Venus Cleta signing off. Bon appetit.